Dr. Kulsum. I'm an eye specialist, a fitness trainer, and a fashion designer by hobby. I'm passionate about bringing health awareness in women. And in these series of fitness videos, today we are going to talk about 8 reasons of obesity. 8 reasons of obesity and gaining fat. If we are doing anything and everything, if we feel that we are doing everything and anything but still not losing weight, it could be one of these reasons. Just check on, you may be having one of these reasons which is not allowing you to get rid of that fat. So coming to the number 1 reason of obesity is nutritional deficiencies. It could be the very common reason for gaining weight is nutritional deficiencies. The reason could be you're not taking your improper nutritional intake, or it could be any kind of issue. So when we talk about nutritional deficiencies, the number 1 and the most common is iron deficiency. This is very common in women. It could be, the reason could be anything. It could be excessive bleeding, excessive irritable bowel, or it could be pregnancy, because even in pregnancy a lot of proper nutrition is required, and if there is not provided, it could lead to iron deficiency anemia. So the common symptoms of iron deficiency are dizziness, fatigue, unusual tiredness are one of the symptoms, and you can also feel shortness of breath, headache, palpitation. The heart tries to pump harder to get oxygenated blood to each and every organ, where your hemoglobin is not enough, so the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood is not adequate. So you can feel the heart beating, that is palpitation, and your skin might be very dry, your hair might become dull and fall, and there would be swelling all over your body. You may have soreness everywhere or restless legs. You can also see brittle nails in iron deficiency, and you might even have strange cravings like eating chalk or ice or strange things like that. And sometimes in iron deficiencies you can even feel cold hands and feet. And the most common thing and the most important thing is, even I had this, like when you find yourself getting frequent infections, like every month I used to have sore throat, or if someone is having urinary tract infection, burning urination or burning micturition, so that is also one indication that you are having iron deficiency, very frequent infections. So this is one reason which is iron deficiency anemia. And the second most common one is B12 deficiency, especially in vegetarians, where the B12 needs are not met. You can see soreness in the mouth ulcers, glossitis. There could be some inflammation here around the mouth, or it could be loss of coordination, which is very common in B12 deficiency. If you are attempting to doing the same thing again and again, sometimes in senior people, or especially diabetic, where this is very common, they tend to put their feet in the slippers twice. That is also an indication that there is lack of coordination, which is very important and which is seen in B12 deficiency. And also with B12 deficiency, you can see memory loss. So if you find all these things and there is some burning sensation in the skin or some tingling kind of sensation, you can see that you are deficient in B12. The third most common deficiency is vitamin D deficiency. If you're not exposed enough to sunlight, or you are not taking enough vitamin D, then you might have vitamin D deficiency. The most common signs and symptoms are muscular aches and pains, bone ache, and these kind of symptoms are very common, and depression, which is very common when you have vitamin D deficiencies. After coming to the second reason, which is very common for obesity, is hormonal imbalance. If you are not having your periods regular, if you are if you have thyroid issues, then you are gaining weight and you are going to become obese. So check on your hormonal status. Coming to the third reason of obesity is inflammation. If you find, how do you see inflammation? There are three signs of inflammation. One is redness, raised temperature, redness, swelling, and pain. So sometimes if there is internal inflammation, you won't be seeing all this redness, swelling, raised temperature and all, but you can always see if there is inflamed gut. You might feel bloated, constipated, or lose stools. So any kind of inflammation, aches and pains is always also, if you have consistently aches and pains, that is also one reason for your obesity. Coming to the fourth reason is the stress. If you have any kind of stress, lot of thinking going on, any kind like physical stress, emotional stress, social stress, it could be your work stress, if you're not able to meet the targets and all that. So any kind of stress might also be one of the reason of your obesity. The fifth reason is your gut bacteria. You might have heard this before, because millions and trillions of gut bacteria inhabit our gut. So if they are not healthy, in turn we will not be healthy. They help us to be healthy. So if you have a leaky gut, or if you are not in, they coat the lining of the gut and they prevent so many problems. So a healthy gut is again a indication of you are healthy. So if your gut is not healthy, if you have a leaky gut, inflammatory bowel syndrome or something like that, you might tend to gain weight. The sixth reason for gaining weight is also again very common, that is toxicity. Toxicity is not always drinking some kind of poison or this, but if you are addicted to certain things routinely, alcohol or smoking or any kind of anything which is really not healthy for you, anything which is harmful for you, just stop it, because that is again causing you not to lose your weight or causing obesity in you. So people might not be thinking, but anything which is, it can be the eating colored food consistently, the outside food which looks very attractive, a lot of color in it, or the junk food, or all these are also toxic food. You not really need to have some kind of addiction, but having a lot of junk is also really toxic to your body. So coming to the seventh reason, where that is the social connections. If you're not having proper social connections, your relationship at work, your relationship in the family, your relationship with children, your relationship in the community, your place where you are living, if you're not having good relationships, that also is like too much stress, and it may lead to obesity. So the last reason which we are going to talk about is sleep. If you are not having enough sleep, that is very, very common reason and very big reason because of obesity, and even in children, because especially after this pandemic, because everyone is like sleeping late, getting up late, and even children, because they don't have a routine, they don't have to go to school, so their sleep pattern is disturbed, and that is causing a situation where the body is not able to rest, repair, rejuvenate enough, and that could be a lot of stress on the body, and it's never repairing. Lack of sleep, day on day, and it leads to quite amount of stress. Body compensate by keeping the fat, and that is the biggest reason for obesity, especially in children, in women who sleep late doing all the household work, and then they rise early for the family, so the sleep disturb. Early mothers of young children who are unable to sleep, they gain more fat because of lack of sleep. Even young professionals who have a lot of work related goals and all that, and unable to finish their targets, and they sleep, they research, they do everything at the night, they keep everything for night, And some people, if they don't have any such compulsions, they just entertain themselves at night and they don't have proper sleep, and that could be a biggest reason for your obesity. So these are the 8 reasons for obesity. Just look into them, that what is your reason, and try to get rid of it. Thank you. See you in the next video.